you stop pissing around? Stand up straight.
Wow. It's raw.
Shut up! Can you wait till I f***ing finish?
Today, you're about to witness the craziest moments when chefs lied to Chef Ramsay's face on Hell's Kitchen. Now, you need balls to do what the last chef on the list pulled, but for now, let's dive into the chaos when a contestant made a move that could end his career. Let's dive into the chaos of Hell's Kitchen Season 20, Episode 3. Alex Lennox was on the meat station with Antonio, and at first, things seemed manageable.
I'm just trying to stay ahead of it.
But how long could that last?
About 5 minutes. 5 minutes? 5 minutes heard? How long? What did he say? 5 minutes, chef.
But what happened to throw everything off balance? Kevin made a misstep that left everyone scrambling.
He's 5 minutes away from serving that, so why the scallops in the pan when they take 2 minutes?
Oh no, he cooked the scallops too early, completely messing up the appetizer timing. And how do you think Chef Ramsay reacted to this kind of rookie mistake? He was furious and threw all the scallops in the bin. But that wasn't the end of the drama. Later, Alex found himself dealing with another problem, this time thanks to Jay.
Where's the garnish? I've got no garnish! So he hasn't even got the garnish on.
A garnish issue loomed, and Alex feared it would wreck the entire meat station's flow. Would this mistake ruin the night?
What are you focusing on?
I was looking at the wrong ticket.
Fortunately, Alex's New York strip made it through Chef Ramsay's scrutiny, but the night was far from over. Next came the ultimate challenge for Alex, handling the chicken entree on his own. Sounds simple enough, right? But would it actually be that easy?
I'm doing the chicken. A 10-year-old can cook a chicken, you know?
True, while a 10-year-old might be able to cook a chicken, I'm not so sure about you. And the chicken he sent to the pass wasn't just undercooked, it was raw. How would Chef Ramsay react to this disastrous mistake? You already know it wasn't going to be pretty.
It's raw.
As the team scrambled to recover, Alex, unsure of his next move, turned to Trenton for advice. Trenton suggested giving the chicken another 9 minutes, but was that enough time to salvage the situation? Finally, the refired chicken made its way to Chef Ramsay. But what do you think happened when he sliced into it?
Oh my lord. Hey, blue team. Come here.
Disaster struck again. The chicken was still raw. How bad was it? Let's just say even Curtis Stone noticed how pink it was from across the room.
Chicken's totally undercooked. It's that raw, even Kirsty can see it from over there.
And as if the humiliation wasn't enough, Marino couldn't help but jab at Alex, joking that even he could have done a better job. By then, Chef Ramsay had reached his limit. He gave the men one final order.
Get out! All of you!
After the blue team's disastrous service, they faced the dreaded task of nominating 2 chefs for elimination. But who would be thrown under the bus? In the deliberation room, Alex wasted no time reminding the team about his plea for a second opinion during the raw chicken fiasco. Would they see things his way? Apparently not. Trenton, clearly fed up, wasn't buying Alex's defense.
Alex needs to be up for elimination. He didn't communicate and he let a raw chicken walk.
But Alex wasn't going down quietly.
But there's also other stations that are like miscommunicating and trying to rush orders. I mean, garnish.
He shifted the blame, pointing fingers at other stations, and singled out Jay for his poor communication. Could this strategy save him, or was it just adding fuel to the fire? Jay, surprisingly honest, owned up to his garnish mistake. But he drew the line when it came to being blamed for the raw chicken disaster.
But I don't deserve to be up for elimination. I didn't cook raw chicken tonight. I'm not giving up whatsoever.
You won't believe what happened next. Despite Jay's admission, the team still decided to pin everything on him. Ultimately, Alex became the blue team's first nominee, with Jay following as the second. Jay wasted no time calling out Alex's station for communication failures. But Alex wasn't staying silent either. He was ready to clarify a few things.
Yes, I communicated with them and asked them as well, and they agreed with me.
What you're saying that nobody behind you can cook a chicken?
According to Alex, the kitchen chaos stemmed from the chicken orders. He argued that he had communicated with the team and insisted he could handle chicken just fine. Could Chef Ramsay be convinced? Not likely. Chef Ramsay wasn't buying a word of it. In fact, he began to doubt whether anyone in the kitchen knew how to cook chicken properly. Determined to get to the bottom of it, Chef Ramsay wanted to know more about this.
Who told you it was cooked?
Antonio.
Antonio. Oh my God. Antonio, come up here.
Well, Chef Ramsay turned the spotlight onto Antonio. But how would Antonio respond? Predictably, Antonio denied having anything to do with it. Was he telling the truth, or was he just trying to save himself? But the real chaos was just getting started. In a shocking turn, Alex switched gears and blamed Trenton. Meanwhile, Chef Ramsay was visibly losing his patience, teetering on the edge of frustration.
You told him the chicken was cooked?
Absolutely not.
Oh my God.
Chef, I did. I fired the chicken.
But hold on, Trenton wasn't about to take the blame either. He flat out denied saying anything about the chicken. Who was telling the truth here? And just like that, Chef Ramsay snapped.
30 seconds. I want to come down and you tell me the truth. Okay.
The frustration boiled over, and he stormed off to his office for a moment of clarity, leaving the kitchen in absolute turmoil. When he returned, his only demand was the raw, unfiltered truth. No more games. The nominees were still at each other's throats, pointing fingers and shifting blame, while the women on the sidelines tried to piece together the mess.
I guarantee you ran the chicken.
No one knows, honestly.
Yeah, like this is ridiculous.
Back in the hot seat, Alex wasn't done deflecting. He now pointed to Sam, claiming he was the one who flagged the raw chicken. But Sam wasn't having it and adamantly denied the accusation. Was Alex running out of excuses? When Chef Ramsay re-entered the chaos, his focus zeroed in on Alex. And finally, Alex cracked. The truth spilled out, dragging Sam into the elimination spotlight. But Sam quickly defended himself, stating he hadn't cooked the chicken, he'd only pulled it out for Alex.
So you told him the chicken was cooked?
I did not touch the chicken. I pulled it from the oven and I did not touch it.
Was this the final piece of the puzzle? With the Chicken Gate mystery seemingly solved, Chef Ramsay turned his attention back to Alex, giving him just 10 seconds to plead his case.
I think I should stay in Hell's Kitchen because I came here for a reason and I'm not backing down. I know that I have a good fight.
Alex, refusing to give up, made a last-ditch effort, expressing his determination to stay in the competition. And in a surprising twist, Alex managed to escape elimination. Talk about a dramatic survival. But this next contestant once made a mistake so serious, it could have put someone's life at risk.
You kill someone!
It all happened in Season 3, when the red team was already struggling to keep up. While one chef managed to hold their own, the other two fell short, and their service quickly spiraled into chaos.
I did the scallop, chef. What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Are they raw?
Oh, come on. Now.
Just as it seemed like the night couldn't get any worse, Chef Ramsay noticed something deeply concerning.
Is spaghetti ready?
It was Joanna Dunn, who would go on to earn the dubious nickname of the Rotten Crab Princess. Here's the reason.
Crab is off. It's f***ing rancid.
Damn, she used a rancid crab in her dish, a decision that was as careless as it was dangerous. And yet, she acted as though she hadn't realized what she had done. How could she not notice the overpowering smell? Chef Ramsay caught the stench from across the kitchen.
Where's the crab?
In a moment that was almost surreal, Chef Ramsay started sniffing around the kitchen, determined to find the source of the odor. It took him less than 10 seconds to pinpoint the offending dish. But then came the real shock. When Chef Ramsay confronted her about it, she completely ignored him.
Smell that. Hey, you, don't you f***.
The sheer audacity of such a reaction left everyone stunned. This wasn't a minor mistake. It was reckless and could have sent someone to the emergency room. Even after being called out, Joanna continued to deny responsibility as though none of it was her fault.
I didn't smell the crab, chef.
Fortunately, Chef Ramsay's intervention ensured that at least one customer avoided what could have been a dangerous and unforgettable dining experience. Naturally, Chef Ramsay didn't take this lightly. Furious, he made sure she faced the consequences of her actions.
Hey, get off! Get off!
But this next contestant, she wasn't just making mistakes, she was playing mind games with her own teammates, deliberately sabotaging them. Can you believe that? In Season 3 of Hell's Kitchen, during the wedding dinner service, Melissa Firpo was tasked with the garnish station. But things quickly went downhill when she stalled on the ribeye garnish.
We gotta go.
Sorry, guys. Give me 3 minutes. This has to braise.
Melissa, come on. You're putting us behind.
She kept asking for 3 more minutes, but when Chef Ramsay asked her again, her response was,
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Yes, chef. I want the lettuce to be done.
She suddenly needed 4 more minutes. And despite the rest of the team being almost ready, they all followed her lead, which was questionable at best. It makes you wonder, why did no one speak up? Then, just when you thought it couldn't get worse, she did this.
I can go.
What? I thought you said 4 minutes.
Out of nowhere, she sent it up in just 30 seconds, leaving everyone totally confused. And what happened next? A massive argument erupted between the team members.
You still need 4 minutes? I can go earlier. We're waiting for you. Yeah, I'm ready.
Chef Ramsay was not pleased. He immediately asked her what she was doing, questioning how she could just shut off like that. But of course, Melissa had an answer.
What is your game here today? What is your game? Something's happened to you, you've just switched off completely. You're turning into a right little
Even Chef Ramsay was aware that she was a big liar trying to sabotage her team, but then she argued back, which, as you know, never ends well when you're talking to Chef Ramsay. As expected, the red team ended up losing the dinner service, but this next guy thought he could pull off a lie and get away with it. But guess what? Someone had already busted him in the act. And the crazy part, he had no idea just how badly his lie was about to unravel. Too wise, too late, huh? In the third episode of Season 3, the red team was absolutely killing it.
Let's go. Let's go.
So 2 Wellington, 1 is rare.
3. Yep.
They were already serving their main courses while the blue team was still struggling to get their first batch of entrees out. The pressure was mounting. But then, guess what happened in the blue kitchen? Chef Ramsay caught Brad Miller red-handed, and he wasn't happy about it. His teammates were shouting at him.
Brad, 2 minutes.
Yes, no, go in 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
But Brad, acting like he had all the time in the world, responded with, "Nah, give me 2 minutes and 45 seconds. What was he doing with those extra 45 seconds? Here's the kicker. He was busy trying to salvage burnt Wellingtons by scraping them off. Can you believe it? But here's where things took a turn. Chef Ramsay wasn't having it. When he found out what Brad was really up to, he went off.
Lift the bottom of the Wellington over. Oh, come on.
Chef Ramsay's face said it all. He wasn't about to let Brad get away with this mess. He practically exploded.
You give me them anemic bits of shit, I'll f***ing throw them up your ass sideways.
And then he threatened to kick Brad out if he dared to serve those Wellingtons again. You could feel the tension building.
Where's your f***ing brain? I just cannot believe this.
Chef Ramsay was yelling at the team, wondering if they could get their act together and get one dish out. And then, the ultimate moment of frustration. Chef Ramsay did something unexpected.
Can we have the 2 main courses together? Shit!
He kicked a freaking bin. It was pure, unfiltered rage. The drama in the kitchen was off the charts, and no one knew how it was gonna end. Could the blue team finally pull it together, or was this service doomed? You won't believe what this next guy did. He nearly put his whole team in serious danger.
Michael, what the f*** are you doing?
Talk about a disaster waiting to happen. In Season 14, during one of the dinner services, Michael Dussault was handling the garnish station. Seems straightforward, right? But things took a turn when Chef Ramsay and sous chef James noticed something fishy.
What are you doing?
Yes, special chef.
So we haven't sent the appetizers yet, and you're so keen about getting your stuff ready. How about looking overall?
Yes, chef.
So Michael wasn't making the flatbreads that were his responsibility. So who ended up doing it? Millie. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. As the service continued, Chef Ramsay's attention turned to Michael, and what he saw was even worse.
Michael, what the f*** are you doing?
Michael had a sizzling hot pan, and instead of placing it in a safe spot, he set it on a nearby rack. Can you believe that? Chef Ramsay was furious.
It's about to get even hotter.
King Jesus. Michael, what are you doing?
Chef, I put it away, chef.
What if Brett or Josh grabbed that pan? They'd be burned badly. So what did Michael do? He tried to explain himself. Was it enough to calm Chef Ramsay down? Nope, it only made things worse.
Shut up. Can you wait till I finish?
Both teams were total losers that night. He wasn't having it. He told the teams to nominate 2 people each for elimination, and Michael, of course, got the first spot for the blue team. Who else was up for elimination? Nick. In the end, Michael was sent packing. His mistakes and that risky stunt with the pan had him out of the kitchen. But get this. In his exit interview, Michael was livid. He still couldn't believe he was eliminated, claiming Nick and Adam were the real problems on the team. Tough luck, Michael. That's Hell's Kitchen for you. You either sink or swim. Now, let me tell you about this wild dinner service from Season 4. Roseanne Fama was supposed to be the assistant maitre d', but wow, she was moving so slow it felt like watching paint dry. Jean-Philippe, the maitre d', was losing his mind, just waiting for Chef Ramsay to explode. And you won't believe how long it took Roseanne to send in her first ticket.
Where's this just come from? Who just put this ticket on here?
I just brought this up to the...
What?
Damn, 37 minutes. Can you imagine? 37 minutes for the first ticket. Chef Ramsay had to give her a serious lesson in speed and efficiency, finally telling her to just get on with it. But that's just the beginning. 2 hours into the service, Roseanne handed Chef Ramsay another ticket, and guess what was wrong with it? Check this out.
It came on nearly an hour ago. Oh no. Oh no.
She'd written that ticket an hour ago. Are you kidding me? Her excuse?
I have a line of tickets waiting up for you, and I don't want to bombard you all at once and give them to you.
Did she just say she didn't want to overwhelm Chef Ramsay with too many tickets? How funny. And Chef Ramsay wasn't buying it, he was beyond furious.
What time was the table written first time round?
They've been here for 2 hours, Chef.
Not only did the customers have to wait 2 hours for their food, but it was also obvious she had either no clue what she was doing or was straight up lying. And Chef Ramsay didn't hold back. He made sure she knew exactly what he thought of her performance.
Everything you touched, you fucked.
Ouch. He let her know that everything she had touched was a complete disaster. Talk about getting off easy. In Season 10, Episode 4, during dinner service, Donald Don Savage made a bold and utterly reckless move that would leave everyone in disbelief. Now stationed at the meat station with Royce, Don decided to send out a raw steak, all to prove his teammates wrong while lying that it was perfectly cooked. What kind of move is that? Was he really that desperate to show off? It all began when Brian burned the refire for the cod, and Don, rather than focusing on his own station, threw shade, saying the cod was way under a pile of shit. Then, when it came to the Wellingtons, Don couldn't even figure out something this easy.
Wellingtons go in this pan. Wellington goes in the fancy pan.
Guy chimed in, saying this.
Once we got into entrees, Don is the guy who's driving the f***ing car, and I'm in the back seat. You know how many seat belts I would put on? Like 17.
And finally, he was ready with his dish.
I'm ready to go on the Wellington. Right on you. Wellington coming up.
But things took an unexpected turn when Don sliced his steak on the next order.
Now, raw. Wait, he needs more time. He just cut a raw sirloin.
Royce noticed something critical. The steak was raw. But did Don listen? Nope. He completely disregarded Royce's warning and sent the steak out anyway, all while making fun of Royce. What kind of arrogance is that? And of course, Chef Ramsay wasn't fooled for a second. As soon as he saw the steak, he exploded. It was raw. Oh no. Don meat turned out to be completely raw while lying about it being cooked perfectly. Was he trying to look good or just trying to cover his tracks? Either way, it backfired terribly. And clearly, Chef Ramsay was so done with Don.
Come on, Dumbo.
Well, that name suits him. Anyway, Don had been calling out 1 minute on the refire, but wasn't that the same thing he'd been saying for the last 3 minutes? What a disaster. Even his teammates were frustrated.
1 minute. Don, be honest with your time.
And then, when he finally sent up the refire, and this is how it all turned out.
What the f? Oh my god. Yeah, stop! Stop! You keep me waiting, then they arrive in the window, medium well.
Chef Ramsay tore him apart for making everyone wait so long.
You're telling me 1 minute. I come back 4 minutes later and it's still 1 minute.
And do you think he got another chance to redeem himself that night? Well, no.
Get out! Oh.
Wow, finally he was kicked out of the kitchen. What a mess. Poor Donald, he really couldn't get it together. But what this next contestant did was unbelievable.
I can't do it. I'm done. I'm done.
Dig deep, Jason.
In Season 4, Episode 3, Jason Underwood found himself in charge of the dessert station, but things quickly went sideways. When Chef Ramsay asked him what desserts they had, Jason completely blanked, he had no clue. In an instant, Chef Ramsay sent him back to the dorms with a simple task: study the menu. After some gentle pushing from LaRosse, Jason eventually returned to the kitchen, but when Chef Ramsay asked him what was up, Jason came out with some crazy excuse.
I really can't.
What do you mean you can't do it?
I don't know.
Hey, come here. Hey, come here, all of you. Come here.
Just like Chef Ramsay, even the viewers were shocked to see him quit over a simple menu. And obviously, Chef Ramsay, as usual, wasn't about to let him off the hook. He gathered everyone around and bluntly asked if Jason really wanted to quit. And here's where things got dramatic.
Do you want to go home?
Yeah.
You want to go home?
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
You're done.
I'm done.
Jason, in the most pathetic way, straight up said he wanted out, he was ready to bail on the competition and go home. The truth is, Jason had plenty of time to learn the dessert menu, but instead of putting in the effort, he copped out with some weak excuse, claiming the pressure was just too much to handle. It wasn't about pressure at all, it was about him not wanting to admit that he hadn't bothered to memorize a simple menu. How could he let something like that derail his dream of winning Hell's Kitchen? It's insane. Chef Ramsay, though, wasn't about to let him off that easily and gave him a pep talk.
You're about to walk out and put your team in the shit.
I don't want it to be it, no, but...
So what can you give me then? Desserts?
Thankfully, with some push from Chef Ramsay, he finally did it.
Chocolate Verona with black cherry fondant.
Oh my god.
Cream brulee with bitter chocolate sorbet. Chocolate souffle with thin ice cream.
What? He knew he could do it, but instead of pushing through, he was lying to Chef Ramsay, claiming it was all just too much for him. It was complete and utter nonsense.
You were gonna quit 2 minutes ago. That's it. There you go. Good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Big boy, put your mind to it. You'll be surprised what you can do in life.
That's what I respect about Chef Ramsay. He doesn't let anyone throw in the towel without a fight. Chef Ramsay rallied him, and with some tough love, Jason finally started getting it together.
You know, I don't think he wanted me to quit. I think he wanted to beat my ass a little more. He wasn't done with the whooping.
That little bit of confidence boost helped, but it wasn't enough to make up for the mistakes that followed. Despite his newfound knowledge of the desserts, Jason continued to mess up, and eventually, both teams were kicked out of the kitchen. He had reached his breaking point, and honestly, it turned out to be more of a struggle for Chef Ramsay himself than any of the contestants. From burnt dishes to shady shortcuts, these chefs learned the hard way that honesty is the only real recipe for success in Hell's Kitchen. You can't hide in this arena, there's no escaping the heat. But hey, mistakes happen, right? There are only a few contestants who actually own up to them rather than lying their way out of trouble. And that's the true test in Hell's Kitchen, owning your mistakes and learning from them. Do you remember any chef who was righteous and always stood for the truth? Make sure to drop those names in the comments below. Now, before you head out, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on my post notifications. Also, if you want to see something even crazier, check out my latest video right here.